Hi guys, Elaine here, the Animal Reiki Lady. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Thanks for joining me. So today we're going to be doing not so much a reading or a channeling as we are going to do a follow-up for the beautiful Aya. Aya crossed the Rainbow Bridge yesterday, and it was Aya's mama who posed the question to me, should I create a ritual, a ceremony? How is it that I can help Aya have a smooth, peaceful transition? And so catch that video, helping our animals cross over, if you'd like some answers to those questions. But then the follow-up question, a very natural one that comes up often, is, well, where do our animals go? Once they leave their little physical body, where did she go? Because I'm not sure that I felt her right away after she crossed. So that's the question that we're going to answer today, is where do our animals go after they cross? But first, for those of you who may be catching me for the very first time, my name is Elaine. I'm an animal Reiki master. I help people build deep spiritual healing connections with the animal companions in their life. And that also includes helping people prepare for and cope with pet loss and the loss of their animal companion. So as we talk about this subject, where do our pets go? Everybody wants to know this. We want to know where we go when we die, right? We have stories, we have legends, we have history about going to heaven and that kind of thing. But what really happens, and what have the animals shared with me when they've crossed? So I have worked with numerous now over the years, numerous animals who have crossed it, who have been in transition, and they share so much with me, including my own Lucy, Jack, Winston, Jake. I fostered seniors, so all of my senior dogs that crossed in a very close time to each other. So I want to show you this. So I keep their remains, and I have all three of them here. This is Winston, Lucy, and Jack. And I keep a little bit of Winston by my heart all the time. Winston was my little soulmate. More than anything else, Winston was my soulmate. But they're not really here. They're not really here at all. This is just for me and my memories and my feel good, to know that I still have something of them close by me. But where did their energy go? Where did their soul go? Where did their spirit go? Did it just disappear? The answer is no. In fact, they are not only everywhere, they're nowhere and everywhere at the same time. So they don't go to a place. We often talk about this place called the Rainbow Bridge. Let me clarify about the Rainbow Bridge. The Rainbow Bridge is a beautiful place, as the story goes, where our animals go to wait. They wait for us to cross, and then we are rejoined, and together we cross the bridge to heaven. I would share with you that the Rainbow Bridge is the same thing. It is nowhere and everywhere all at the same time. We created that beautiful story as humans because we fear that there's nothing after we die. We fear death, we fear loss, we fear that we'll never see our animal companions again. And so we create this beautiful story as a way of holding a space in our heart that helps us overcome grief. And it's beautiful, but I have to tell you right now that the Rainbow Bridge is everywhere, and it's every place, every time. We don't have to wait until we transition to connect with our animals who are at the Rainbow Bridge. So where do they go? So let's just say that it's time. I'm going to use Lucy as the example. So my beautiful Lucy, who crossed in August of 2020. When she crossed, and this is one of the first ways that I came to know this, her crossing was peaceful. We did create a little ceremony for her. And when she crossed, she took one breath. So it's going to be different for every single animal. She took one breath. It was her lungs filled completely. And when she exhaled, she passed through us. There's no other explanation for it. Even the medical care professionals, the vet tech, the veterinarian, everybody felt this wave of love pass through us. Only I will tell you that it didn't pass through me, it passed into me. She entered my soul and became a part of me. So where did Lucy go? Lucy went into me, into my heart. So your animal companion, a part of them will always go into your heart. But that's also a feel-good kind of thing. Where do they actually go? So I tell the analogy of ice and water and steam. And ice is one form of water, and when it melts, it turns into water that we could drink if we chose to, or we could boil it, and when we boil it, it becomes steam and it goes off into the air. but it never actually it never actually disappears. It doesn't leave. It's always in some form or another. You can say that it might trickle back down into rain. So when our animals transition, the same thing happens. Just because they're leaving their physical body doesn't mean they're actually leaving. Their energy is everywhere. They immediately go back into pure consciousness. They still retain their personalities. They still retain a sense of identity, but they become part of the spiritual soup that is everything. But there is a way that we can still access all of that, their love, their energy, their spirit, their soul, their identity, their personality. We still have access to. So the question, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, because the question was, did she need time to rest? Did she need time for her spirit to heal since she went through such a traumatic illness? For people, if you've heard the term, if you've heard the concept of purgatory, that space in between, like, is she stuck? Did she make it safely across the Rainbow Bridge? Did my pet get lost? And all of that, absolutely not. I'm going to share with you right now what they have all shared with me, that they immediately transition into pure positive love. They become the highest version of themselves that they have ever been. Their soul, their spirit rejoices. And the only thing that makes us perhaps not be able to feel them right away is the level of exaltation that they have achieved, the level of love and beauty and peace and amazingness. I have no adjectives to describe. They have gone to such a higher state that it's hard for us lowly human beings to connect with that state. But they show us how to do it. So that is what I want you to know. There is no purgatory. They don't get lost. They don't get stuck. They do not need time to heal, recover from some kind of illness or some kind of spiritual trauma. It doesn't work that way at all. In fact, it's just the opposite. They go so high. They go so high, right to the highest possible version of themselves that we can't relate. Excuse me. Oh, I don't have water here. Oh, yes, I do. Hang on. I got to take a drink, guys. And I don't like to interrupt these thoughts as they're coming. They go to such a high, beautiful spiritual state that we find it hard to relate. So then how do we relate to them? How do we know? How do we get confirmation that they've made it safely to the other side? Well, they are unlimited. I'm going to tell you right now, their capacity is unlimited, and they will do everything to try to get our attention. So what the number one thing that you can do is open yourself to receive. Just say, I am willing, open, ready to receive whatever it is you have to share with me so that I know that we can still be connected. I will do that. Sometimes that means letting go of the grief, finding a way. I'll go back to any of the videos that I've talked about for Ho'oponopono, releasing guilt, releasing grief. All of those lower emotions keep us down here when our pets are up here after they cross. So little by little, we find ways, and they meet us halfway. They will meet us halfway to let us know that they can still be connected with. So what are some ways that we can do that? Senses. They will try to connect with you any way possible. They'll get the attention of your five senses, the five senses that we're taught. So look for things, look for animals that might start to show up that remind you of them. Listen for their name. Their name is often called, or it comes up in unexpected places. You'll be on the phone and the person on the other end will be named the same name as your pet, or you'll see it on TV or in a movie or in a book. So keep your awareness, become aware of the ways that they're trying to connect with you. Sounds, smells. All of our animals have a very unique smell, right? I would recognize all of my animals the instant, and I have had that smell. I'll share just a couple quick examples. Lucy jumping on the bed. I know what it felt like. She's a big girl. And when she would jump on the bed, you knew she jumped on the bed. I have felt that feeling, that jumping on the bed feeling. I know what it feels like. I have looked into the eyes of another animal and seen the soul of my beautiful, beautiful dogs. So look for smells, sounds, feeling, anything like that, anything with your senses. They'll try to get your attention with. The easiest way I find is through dreams. They'll come to you in a dream. Now, what you want to do is right before sleep, that's when the veil is thinnest. At that moment, that magic spot, right as you're ready to drift off, I want you to just say a few words to yourself and to your animal companion. Just say, I'm ready, I'm open, show me whatever it is you wish to show me. Set that intention before you go to sleep, drift off to sleep. Whether or not you remember any dreams, as soon as you wake up in the morning, I want you to write down thoughts that come into your mind, because those are generally the things that your animal wants to share with you. And it's usually feelings of love, deep, deep love. It's magical love. You'll wake up feeling more peaceful, more calm. Perhaps you'll wake up feeling a sense of relief from all the guilt that you've been burdening yourself with. It's a beautiful feeling to wake up to that kind of sensation. So do that. The other thing is meditation. So I meditate. I make no bones about it. The first time I meditated, I was 52 years old. That was 8 years ago. So do the math. I didn't meditate until I was well into my 50s, and now I meditate every single day. It's a non-negotiable. And the reason that I do that is because it helps me to quiet my mind, to release the stress. And we'll talk about Reiki at another time, because I want to share with you what Reiki is and how it's really a system of techniques to reduce stress and to get rid of all the worry and anger and all that stuff we carry around with us. And it's hard for your animals to get through when we are coming to them from a stressed place. The other thing you might want to do is something called automatic writing. I do this all the time. You guys know this. Hang on, I'm going to show you. So when I pose a question to my animal companions, I immediately start to scroll down on this whiteboard. I just scroll it as it comes to me, because I trust it. I trust it, and I know it, and I know the things that they tell me are real. So I start writing. But you might want to just keep a little journal. I have plenty of those too. I write in page after page after page. I ask them what it is that they need me to know, or I ask a specific question about something I wish to know, and I ask them to tell me, and I start writing. And sometimes it's just a word or two, or a thought, or a phrase, or sometimes if I'm not feeling it, I might write things that I remember about them that I loved, and the next thing I know, it all starts to flow. And by the time that I'm done writing, I've got a little message there from them. So that's another way to do it. And then the last thing I'm going to tell you is just be open to listen. Listen with your heart, listen with your ears, listen with your mind, listen with your soul. Listen for messages from them, and they'll be happy to share those with you. All right, so yes, all dogs go to heaven, all cats go to heaven, all horses go to heaven, all snakes go to heaven, everybody goes to heaven, all bumblebees, wasps, they all go to heaven. Not only do they go to heaven, they don't have sin. There's no such thing. No animal has ever sinned. And they go immediately into this place of pure perfection. And when we can learn to raise our own vibration to match their vibration, like a radio station, right? You can't be tuned to two different stations, and you can't turn on the country station and expect to get classical music out of it. So when we learn how to shift our vibration to one that even starts to rise and match theirs, they will come down and join us every single time. So set aside your worries. Your animal companion is safe, ready to connect with you immediately, and all you need to do is ease into it, trust it, let go of expectation of yourself, of them, and they'll show up for you. All right, guys, that's our message for today. I want to share, and I want to thank, that's two words together. I want to thank Aya's mama for letting me be a part of her life. That we've only known each other a few days, but to be a part of Aya's transition, to help share these messages, to have Aya as an inspiration, and I know that Aya is there for you and ready to connect with you. All right, my loves, have a beautiful day. Enjoy your evening. Enjoy your rest, your sleep, wherever you happen to be in the world. May the animals light your way. Take care.